Congratulations, my fellow champions, FA Community Shield winners,
Come on.
Gunners.
Yeah, Gunners, yeah, man.
Come
Guys,
So
on.
congratulations.
did you guys see how salty Pep was
About?
Look here, that guy.
when they scored their goal? Where Cole Palmer scored that goal. Did you guys see how Pep celebrated? He turned
Yeah.
around and he was like, "Yeah!" And the fans were going crazy. Then afterwards, they asked him, "So, how did it feel losing? Like, was your team not ready, etc.?" And he's like, "Oh, we've lost 3 in a row, but do you know why? It's because we win the Premier Leagues."
Oh, wow.
Ah,
That's a subliminal shot.
mm,
And guess what?
Mm.
On Instagram, they posted a picture of Kyle Walker and it says that winning feeling, and they had to edit it. So that was
Yeah.
funny because we scored a nice late equalizer to take the game that they iced it from the penalty spot, 16 yards out, and we could kill them from there. Um, but it was just something that I thought was a bit justice. This year we were on top of that Premier League whole year, waiting in anticipation to also to lift that Premier League trophy after so many years of suffering. And they didn't put me out of my misery. They just kept me suffering for the whole year. It wasn't very fun. When they started to go on top, it was like they were unstoppable. But this was
Mm.
justice.
I
That
I
little
didn't see
money
it
we
so
had
much
to go
as I didn't see it so much as justice. You know what was interesting for me yesterday is that the commentator mentioned that during the Arteta era, we went from 8 to 5, fifth
Mm.
place.
Yeah.
Then last year to second place, and now just yesterday, I think Ramsdale mentioned that he said it seems like that mental block the guys have started to overcome. And if we take anything out of last year, yes, it was very disappointing, but it showed the guys what can happen if you don't have that strong mental capacity to push through at the end. If you just
Mm.
either become too confident or too complacent. And yesterday proved to me, like we said it a lot last year, there were a lot of games where the Arsenal of old would have either lost the game or drawn a game.
yes.
But there were games last year that we won, we would have normally lost or drawn. And then
Mm.
yesterday, to win it in stoppage time, that
Yeah.
is, it just shows that extra level of progression to me.
Do you
But all
think
the
we win the
players
league
need
this
to buy
season?
in.
Do you guys think we're going to win the league this season? I do.
I do.
Um,
100.
I I can say one thing. I hope so. We have made leaps and bounds because they're buying into the coach's strategy, and they're
Yeah.
all playing for each other. We were unfortunate with a few injuries through our back line, which was rock solid during the year. And once two of them fell, we had some holes that we couldn't plug fast enough. But with the young team that we have now and the experience again of the last 3 years, um,
Mm.
they have the ability to. They have the ability. I don't like to talk of it so early, but we have the makeup to become champions
What
of
did you want to
England.
say there, Keenan? I saw the hand go up.
I have a question because I know the Arsenal audience isn't that big, but
Mm.
I have a question for you guys on the stoppage times. Obviously, there's a couple of new updates for the upcoming uh, Premier League. So one is time wasting. You can't kick the ball away anymore because that's going to be a yellow card. You can't. The cynical fouls they're going to clamp down on, and time wasting. That is the
Mm.
big one. So, and also with time wasting, if a goal is scored, you're probably going to have a massive amount of added on extra time or stoppage time. The same like the World Cup in Qatar. So, what's your guys' feelings about the updates in the laws?
Well, let me.
Stoppage happens in every
Go,
sport.
go ahead. Go ahead, Dylan. Go ahead.
If you're gonna go waste time celebrating for 3 minutes, it's just right that you play that 3 minutes back. Back in the day, there never used to be celebrations. It used to be 90 minutes of football, and sometimes the games is won late. What if there was an extra time, maybe in the Arsenal game? You know what I mean?
Mm.
Sometimes, so what if we would have had that opportunity if you didn't celebrate that goal for 3 minutes, 4 minutes, or go down with the injury and the time just kept on going? it's very important to get that time back. And there's so much
Yeah.
wasted time in sport, especially in soccer.
Soccer.
It's not a truly a good game.
Let me hit you guys with a
Good.
stat. Okay. So with regards to all this extra time being added off the bat, I just want to say I'm 100% for it. As a fan, it means more football for us. So the stat that I want to share
Definitely.
with you guys is the average Premier League game of playing time, ball on the pitch, men kicking it, right, was 53 point something minutes last season. That
You see-
means we are watching, I'm serious. So that means that we're watching a 90-minute match, and of that 90 minutes, we're actually getting less than an hour of football. So I'm all for, exactly, and that is why this thing was introduced. So I'm all for it. I
And
think that
something-
if I did see on the English media earlier today that some people are complaining about it, saying, "Oh, if I take my children to a match in midweek, it's going to end so late, etc., etc." However, I do think that if they took the approach of a rugby, which I think they should have taken with VAR, but anyway, if they took the approach of rugby and just stopped the clock, it would have the exact same effect, and we'd still get the full 90 minutes. I don't know what soccer's problem is, but they can learn a thing or two from rugby.
From rugby.
For example, lineouts is normal. That is in the flow of the game. Certain things is in the flow of the game, but certain things is really not. A
Yeah,
goalkeeper
exactly.
tapping, falling, bouncing the ball 10 times. That just spoils the game. And
Yeah.
it doesn't make it that exciting and engaging because we're not there to see that. Play the game like
Exactly.
it's supposed to be. Respect.
In conclusion, I just want to say that, one thing that I learned yesterday is that for all of us to be happy and to move on, we need to be okay with it happening to us. So
Yes.
for all the supporters out there, do you get what I'm saying, Nathan? Like,
No, wait, what are you referring to?
I'm saying for the new laws. So yesterday, Arsenal got like 3 yellow cards where they might not have previously gotten the yellow cards before, and obviously, also the added stoppage time, 8 minutes, would have maybe not happened before. But now, if the roles are reversed, then we as supporters have to be okay with the fact that, listen, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Like, it needs to be applied across the board. So soccer fans just need to be okay with the fact that there could be games where your team is losing and you get an extra 10 minutes to equalize, and there could be games where you are ahead and there's an extra 10 minutes and the other team equalizes.
But there's definitely an
But one-
agenda against Arsenal. Have you guys not noticed? Like if we
Guys,
win a
but one
game
thing
and we
I can say
celebrate,
is that
then there's a celebration police. Like it's ridiculous.
yeah, one thing I can say is that Arsenal just helped me so much during my life. Nothing can break my freaking heart. Just Arsenal put me through the most, and I became a stronger man because of it.
I've always
Emotion
described
ever.
supporting Arsenal like being in an abusive relationship. Like it's not good for you. You know that they don't treat you well, but you still come back for more.
Stockholm syndrome.
But
There we go.
yeah,
Never
but
mind.
I almost said something. It's almost, but I'm not gonna say it. Keeping it easy.